Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining us for this very special edition of the Alley Agate Vintage Children's Toy Dishware Sets. So this will be a guide of Alley Agate and Jade Pressman vintage glass related collectibles, box sets, all kinds of crazy stuff. And we are joined by the Honorable Tour Guide, Mr. Ron Shepard in Sandyville, West Virginia. And we start the tour right now.
This is the Chiquita children's dishes that Alley made. He made these at Pennsboro and St. Mary's sites. And he made two styles. Most people know the Chiquita brand, and the other style was Orphan Annie. Now I'll explain detail how you can tell the difference between the two of them. And they're different size box sets. Some of them are multicolored dishes in them. Some of them are the same color dishes all the way through the box. And a big key is what came in the box. So I've kind of got it laid out here. We'll get detail on that. So you can have all same color dishes or different color dishes. The next thing that came in the box was what they call the silverware, but it's actually plastic and rolled up in this. These are very hard to find in the box sets. Spoons, knives, and forks rolled up in the box. Again, Alley went back to his buddy at Alley Agate, chemist for them, Henry Helmers, in 1935, and got glass formulas for these dishes. So I'm sure they're pretty much a lot like Acro glass formulas for their dishes. So, but two styles, be same color. This is very important, which you hardly ever see. This is worth more than probably as much as the box set.
Is that right?
In each box set, I talked to a woman at St. Mary's that packaged these. She's the first one told me they should have this in it, and she told me they came with a tablecloth. And it took 20 years. And this is the only one anybody's ever seen or known of is a tablecloth. And it has the Chiquita emblem with the donkey.
Oh yeah, it matches.
On all the corners. Yeah, it's made after him. They're in the corners, in the center.
Beautiful sewing detail here. Or is that a print? That's a print, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a print. Then you had to missing one napkin. There was what they call them, 4 napkins that went with it.
That is awesome. And none of this has the Alley Agate name or trademark?
Most of this was 15, 20 years ago. It was all sold as Acro.
What?
No one knew any different.
Oh, because it's
not
not labeled.
Books and everything else is Acro, this and that. And even Roger Hardy.
It's just assumed it was Acro.
Acro. Cool. We got doing a little bit of research, and then some of the digs happened to Pennsboro, and we thought, what are all these Acro dishes and stuff doing here? So then...
Oh, and then you started to piece it together.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay, here's for comparison. I said we compare the Chiquitas with Orphan Annie. If you look close, these are similar colored sets. You can get a mixed set, but these are, I put them pieces because they're so much alike.
Right.
The Chiquita, if you look, is really tapered down to the bottom. It's real simple.
Yeah.
And if you move over to the Orphan Annie, it is rounded.
Oh yeah.
The cups are rounded.
Oh right.
And these are tapered. Most of the Chiquita, 50% of it or 70% of it is opaque. There's none of the Orphan Annie that is opaque. It's all transparent.
All right.
And the colors are forward on. It's on clear glass, and the colors are forward on. Orphan Annie is 5-10 times harder to find than Chiquita.
Okay.
So he made the most of Chiquita.
Nice.
And if you notice, you got the same boxes for both of these. They're Chiquita. This is Orphan Annie in a Chiquita box.
Oh.
There's very few Orphan Annie boxes made out there.
But they do have Orphan Annie packaging.
Yeah, we'll do that next. These boxes, when they're original, had a simple thing as straw or Excelsior underneath of them. That was the padding underneath the back of the dishes. That's the reason they sunk down. That rotted and it was all in there. And you'll see on the divider over there, they had cardboard dividers around each one of the dishes when they shipped them. Okay, these are the Orphan Annie box sets. You got a medium or small size set and a larger set. And there's only about 5 of these boxes that we know of anywhere this net. So there's not many Orphan Annie boxes out there. If you notice the graphics, it definitely fits Orphan Annie.
Yeah. And there's the artist.
Right.
Merrill Gray.
And you can see what name's on the box.
Pressman.
Alley didn't put his name on anything. So it was Pressman's design, and Alley made the dishes and furnished the dishes.
It has all the Orphan Annie characters. This is cool.
So we'll open them up.
Okay.
And these, you can see, these are not a mixed set. You know, these are all the same color. The green, now you can see exactly how transparent the green is.
Yeah.
You won't see that on Chiquita.
Right.
And this blue, if you got good light, it's as transparent as that. So these are really rare. So if you visit antique shops, flea markets, or this, that, or do not pass up Orphan Annie.
Orphan Annie, if you see it, grab it.
That's the smallest.
Yeah, you can see the alley swirl glass, you
Yep.
know, that you see sometimes in the
That's
the marbles.
That's the smallest set. We're filming here. We'll get the bubble set.
Oh, cool. Let's look at the bubbles.
The bubble set
Okay.
is the same time frame. If you look at the graphics, it says Orphan Annie and everything else.
Right.
And this is your soap. And of course, Alley made the dishes for it. Alley made all the dishes for it.
Cool packaging.
Slide this so you can get a good view of it.
Okay.
Another oddball is the pastry set,
Wow.
which is a little bit newer, not much pastry set. And
I love it.
it had 3 Alley dishes with it. Transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's transparent.
And
They weren't real picky. And they,
utensils came with
yes,
it?
and they put an opaque lid.
Oh, cool.
They weren't real picky, but these are really hard. I know one of the bubble set. These are really hard to find.
Really
If you want to zoom down,
All right.
another rare one is the T for 6. It is a big set, and this is all Alley. This for years up to 10 years ago. These were sold and bought everywhere as Acro.
Right.
These are spare cups in case you put it. That's it, called the T for 6. This is Alley Agate.
Nice glass. And the packaging matches the glass color.
Number wise, it's all I've ever seen. It's only in green,
Right.
and it matches the box, and it's only in green.
Have you ever found any marbles that match up to that actual
Yes.
base?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
I want one of those marbles.
I was talking earlier about the dividers and the straw underneath them for the packages.
Oh,
and
right.
This is one of the dividers. The dividers
Oh,
are hard
okay.
to come when they were shipped out to keep them from breaking. So it's odd to find one of those in a box.
So here's Tiddlywinks. What is this?
It's a game, Tiddlywinks.
Okay.
You would take this and flip them, try to flip them into the cup. And that's how you got
Oh, right.
points.
I remember playing this
This
actually.
is Tiddlywinks. And you find different size cups. Alley made the dishes for them, the glass for them. And some of them are transparent, some of them are a little bit bigger than others.
No maker's mark.
Nope.
So in this clip, we're inspecting a few swirly deep dishes that Ron dug at the Alley Pennsboro location. And after doing a little research, we believe these are from the Orphan Annie Bubble Set for 2 kit, released in the 1930s by Jade Pressman. These sets are likely very scarce, and these photos come to us courtesy of antique dealer James H. Freiberg Books.
These are the Alley Agate glass marbles, excuse me, glass animals. Too many marbles on my head.
Yeah.
They were also made in Pennsboro location and St. Mary's location. And there's a pretty good little variety of them. And different colors, very few of them opaque, some of them are opaque. You can see this goose is opaque, white with the blue, opaque bird with blue, opaque blackbird, but the majority of them are transparent. Some of them are colored. You see the red and you can see the blue, but it's kind of like a painted on. It's not in the glass, it is on the surface. And some people got real fancy. They even decorated and painted them themselves.
Oh, wow. Yeah, nice.
And you've got a Scotty dog, the squirrels, the goose. You got roosters. You've got a donkey, a horse, the Scotty dogs. There's quite a variety of them. You have birds that are they called feeding birds,
Yeah.
and birds that are just setting.
Ground feeding birds
and a duck.
perched birds.
And the most rare one is these 2 blue birds. It's the only 2 blue birds that anybody's found or seen so far. Is these 2 yellow ones, the only one that color.
And that's a painted surface on a clear base, clear glass.
And this is brass. It is heavy. And this is how it was cut out for the mold. This is a cutout to come out of the mold. As you can see,
wow.
it's heavy to break glass. This is the squirrel. And here's the one for the rooster. I've got quite a few of these.
Where do you find all this stuff?
Most of all these came out of Pennsylvania from one man.
Kidding.
Yeah,
That's real upset. To get the molds, that's insane.
Yeah, this is what they cut out. You got a big block of steel,
Right.
and they cut this out and pull this out, and it's poured with glass.
That's awesome.
And there's a group over here in the cabinet. He can catch it next, and
Check that out.
you see a big group of them. He knew a guy that used to work in a mold shop.
Okay.
I said, oh my gosh, talk to this guy, see if he knows anything about these glass animals. Okay, next we're going to get into something a little bit different. It's getting a lot of attention here in the last couple of years of people asking for them, wanting to know the history on the information, this and that. These are the Alley Agate glass insulators. And they were made only at Pennsboro, so you had to be from 1932 to 1936 at the most. So the first thing is, I'll give you a hint, they are for nothing electrical.
I'm drawing a blank.
So if you put the time frame, there was no TVs.
Right.
Everybody listened to the radio.
Oh.
After a long day's work, the
Right.
family gathered around the radio
Okay.
and listened to the radio.
We're talking about the 1930s
Early
here.
30s,
Yeah.
Depression time. So to pick up, especially in rural states and mountainous states like West Virginia, you had trouble picking up even one station. So you had to get some kind of antenna out of the house. So that's what these were made for. And the machine they were made on was nicknamed the corncob machine because they looked a lot like a corncob.
Yeah.
And they were a press mold thing, this and that. You pull the handle down, press the glass in. And I talked to a guy and he said, yeah, I used to run the corncob machine. I thought,
Wow.
what are you talking
What is
about?
that? Yeah.
And it was
He
insulators.
explained it to you.
Then the real name is radio antenna insulators.
Okay.
And I'll explain.
And it comes in a couple
There's
colors,
6
right?
different colors. Clear,
Uh-huh.
transparent blue,
Right.
transparent green,
Yeah.
transparent root beer. These are hard to find. Transparent root beer, transparent amber, and the opaque black. And the way they work, everybody, well, how did they work? So you take this one, run the wire through your house, out the door, hook this to the house. Run your wire through this bare wire through the other end. So this is hooked to the house.
Uh-huh.
Run your antenna wire, bare wire for this. You took this out anywhere it was, trees, hillside, high as you could get, anchored this to your tree, whatever it was, and hooked the other wire here. And that was your antenna wire went from here through here to the radio. And they got the grooves, so when you run your wire in it, you could wrap it around it and anchor it here on the end. These are the Alley called thumb pots, like acro thumb pots. And they are very close identical. Most people do not know how to separate them. So this is where you pay attention. You match the tops together. The ribs, I've counted them, are exact same, everything's exact same. A lot of the glass is pretty close, but when you turn them over, the Alley is the acro has a lot sharper taper to it. It's not as big around at the base if you put calipers on it. These are highly collectibles. And the only markings on any of the Alley ones is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's Braun Corwin. It's a company that they went to Alley and said, we make these for us, we want our name on them. And when they were original, you can see on the left, each one of them come with the little flowers in it.
Oh, nice.
But the age and everything else, it's hard to find the flowers with much color. It's hard to find them with flowers in them,
Sure.
original, but the colors are mostly gone. And the most common, as you can see, is the Jade green. The Alleys will have more, they're a little rougher, they ain't as smooth, the quality's not as good as far as smooth, but they have more patterns in the glass. But the big difference is right here. These were found in this, originally in this.
In that tray?
Yes.
In the display tray?
Yes.
Cool. That's a nice piece to get.
Some people don't realize that Alley made fire pots
They sure did.
compared to
Nice one.
Acro.
Yeah.
Here's the colored one, and here's you get into the solid green, opaque green, but you can see the patterns in it again.
Yeah.
So that'll differentiate from Acro. Almost very few Acro. It's a little bit rougher if you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is one of the better ones. This is transparent glass.
Oh, yeah, it It looks like slag glass almost, huh?
And here's aventurine.
Oh, really?
This has green aventurine.
Oh, that's wild.
That's the best alley flower pot I've found so far with aventurine.
Nice.
So there's a variety. They come in just opaque white, but the plain colored ones, you can't separate it from acro.
Right.
Impossible. The plain solid colors.
You just have to look for swirling.
Yeah. These, you can find them. You know, acro didn't do this swirling, didn't do these colors.
The molds are the same.
So the same.
Wow. Cool. There's a couple more here.
I went out hard for years.
Yeah.
That's the best alley disc collection set. Other than marbles, that's the best alley collection. Other than marbles,
Probably known to man.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a few people's got a box of this and that, and I know one other person that's got an Orphan Annie box. I think they're in Pennsylvania. I tried to buy it off the woman. I offered her $500 for it. She just laughed at me.
Really?
Yes.
She turned you down?
Oh yeah, she just laughed at me. It's that size.
It's
even
a good
the small.
payday.
It's in the small one, not even the big one.
She knew about it.
Oh yeah.
She knew that they were obscure.
Yeah. She said she didn't. She knew Allie made them. She knew how. She knew how rare it was. She was older. She's older than I am. She's in her late 80s.
Right.
I talked to her about 3 years ago. She's in the late 80s. She said, "You know something about these children's dishes?" And I don't know how she knew. She wouldn't tell me where she had a relative work there or what. But she wouldn't tell me. She said, "You know about these?" I said, "How did you know these Alleys?" Well, just don't worry about it. She wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
So I'd say she knew somebody that worked there.
And this is a real kind of Art Deco.
The bubble set.
Yeah, that's cool. It's all really cool. I mean, they really put a lot of energy into
this.
the
Should
packaging.
get people looking for this stuff. If they collect the alley marbles,
I would think so.
once you get 2 or 3 years worth of alley marbles, you can start having trouble. You find this stuff will will jump at you.
Right, for the advanced collector,
Yeah.
we have Alley Dishware.